Sometimes just the way things are to be, yeah. Thank you, Mama, for the 9 months you carried me through all those pain and suffering. No one knows the pressure you bear, just only you. Give you all my love, oh yeah. Thank you, Mama, for the 9 months you carried me through all those pain and suffering. No one knows the pressure you bear, just only you. It's my words and my tongue. Mama, I will never let you down. I'll never go away. I'll always be around. You know why you do it, such love that you found. I'm always gonna let you wear that crown. Through the roughest of times, you maintain your home towards your only end, while sheltering me from the storm. And when it's slowly round, the tower's so warm. Oh ma, I'm so glad I was born. Thank you, Mama, for the 9 months you carried me through all those pain and suffering. No one knows the pressure you bear, just only you. Give you all my love, oh yeah. Oh, thank you, Mama, for the 9 months you carried me through all those pain and suffering. No one knows the pressure you bear, just only you. This is my word, I'm gonna make you so proud. Such good son you have. You're the one who teaches me all the good from the bad. Even when the system keeps pressuring my dad, you got high hopes. Thanks be unto the Most High God. Thank you, Mama, for the 9 months you carried me through all those pain and suffering. No one knows the pressure you bear, just only you. Give you all my love, oh yeah. Thank you, Mama, for the 9 months you carried me through all those pain and suffering. All my vision, aspiration, I owe it all unto you. It's my words and my prayer. I'm a big man now, that's how things go. Things they do to survive, only Jah knows. There's me protecting us while watching us grow. You've been up, even when it's on the down low. Work so hard, you see us what is true. Blisters on your fingers so they can't take us for food. I'm here for a purpose, I'm here to most starter. Rastafari will see you through. Thank you, Mama, for the 9 months you carried me through all those pain and suffering. No one knows the pressure you bear, just only you. Thank you, Mama, for the 9 months you carried me through all those pain and suffering. No one knows the pressure you bear, just only you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to say good evening. My name is Rashad Joseph, and I'll be your entertainment for this afternoon. It's a pleasure being here with you guys this evening. And I hope this impression and hope this music, instrumental, soothes you. Have a good evening. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I have a few more numbers for you guys tonight. To all those just coming in, I welcome you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. And welcome to the second annual Clery Legends Ball. I would just like to take a moment to invite this year's recipient, anyone who is getting an award this year, to make your way up to the first free tables. Anyone who is getting an award this year, please come forward to the first free tables. Again, welcome all the Clery legends and all the guests. We appreciate you being here very, very much. We look forward to an amazing evening. Once again, can we get this year's recipients to come to the first three tables? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second annual Clery Legends Ball. I hope everyone will have an amazing time tonight. Once again, I just want to announce for this year's recipients, the folks who will be getting an award tonight, please sit in the first three tables. Again, this year's recipients, please sit in the first three tables. We will commence in a few minutes. Thank you so much for your patience.
And that's how we're going to proceed with this. According to your decade, so like the 60s, when we're about to mention the 60s, we have these three chairs right across there. So those from the 60s going to have a seat right there. And then we're going to take a little break, make a few announcements, and then the 70s. So we want all the three 70s to come up. Oh gosh, I'm having a deja vu. So this was meant to be. Deja vu. Yeah. All right. So, and then we're going to take a little break, make an announcement. And the three 80s going to take over. Take a break, announcement. And the three 90s going to take over. Take a break, and we're going to have a blast. Everybody's with me? Is everybody with me? All right. We're going to get started shortly, yeah? We have a lot of great people in the house. The great people in the house, especially this gentleman. Yeah? We're getting started. We're getting started. Yeah. Cheers. Hey, let's carry on with the music. Yeah. I'll sing for you guys. Second announcement, because we want to move smoothly. We want to move very much smoothly. So recipients, they will enter the stage on this, through these steps, and we're going to exit through these steps there so we can flow, have a nice, beautiful, melodious flow. Let's take it away melodiously.
and gentlemen, thank you and good afternoon. Good evening to you all.
Shall we? Shall we? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jean Félicité, and we all have a nickname in this community, so everybody knows me as Davio. All right? And we're going to be moving smoothly. But first of all, let's give a round of applause to Mr. Rashad Joseph. Oh, yes, he did a fabulous job. Yep. 1971. 1971 was the year I was born. I was born in the Central Castries, and the last place I lived was in Leslie Land. Yeah. And 75, we moved over into Clery. I told you guys that story a few days ago. My elder brother, everybody, let's head for Placid, for Ford. Feel Ford, yeah. But at home, you know, your elder siblings, they always pick on you, right? And one evening, you know, we didn't have that much entertainment, yeah. So all what we had was sports, and more sports. So daytime, you have in sports, but you have to get home before the sun goes down. You have to get home before the street lights come on. And one evening, we were in front of our door area there doing our racing and stuff like that. And my elder brother said to me, there's this guy that he can beat you. And I'm like, that short thing, he could never do that. Oh, yeah. So my brother lined us up, and he said, on your mark, get set. And before the G in go was mentioned, that short thing just disappeared in the dark. And I only saw him a few months later when I came down the road, and I befriended most of you guys here, and who took sports to the highest level that it has to be. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce to a gentleman who has taken sports, especially football, among the professionals. Yeah, we all know him. We all know who that gentleman is. Yeah, he got his nickname because of. We're going to find out how he got his nickname. But ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to the one and only Earl Bolog Jean.
Bolog short, but not that short.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening to each and every one of you here tonight. Let me say again to our friends, our families in the diaspora, looking on, it's a special moment, it's a special night, and we thank each and every one of you for being here and supporting what my good friends Ernest James, Robert Black, Junior Ellis Black, and Dexter Rizmi, what they have been doing and what they have been trying to achieve. So let's thank them, let's give them all praises. Before we start, let me ask our Bishop Emmanuel Lauren to come in and Mark Lauren, to come in and say a few words of prayer to us.
Pleasant good evening to all of you. I'm glad to be here tonight. When I walked in, I saw this ballroom arrangement. I said, this is top class. So I'm glad to be here today. I'm glad to be here because I'm a Laclerian, played on the field. Our Malabar Beach is ours. Bless the Lord. So I'm glad to be here. As we pray, I just want you to remember there's two scriptures. It says that in Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5 it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not onto your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will direct your path. And there's another one in Psalms 121. It says, I will look unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Can I kindly ask, I know it's a ball, but can you please stand? Let us just pray. Bless God. Father, we come here to give you praise, give you glory and honor, to lift up your name. But we come to ask for a blessing upon this award ceremony, but also a blessing upon this club as they continue to thrive, as they continue to express in many ways their gratitude. We ask, oh God, that today, as we gather here, that your richest blessing will be upon us. We ask, oh God, that you would minister to every heart. Let this be a joyous occasion. Let this be an occasion, oh God, as many are being honored tonight, that they will remember, my God, that the fellow men, the fellow brothers have saw fit to bestow such honor upon them, and they will continue to give glory to you for this. We ask, oh God, that you would guide throughout this entire proceedings, that your hands will be with us and guide the chairperson, guide everybody that have to express in one way or the other tonight. But we ask today for a special blessing. We declare in this ceremony a special blessing upon this club with everything that it needs, its resource, that you would bless it, you would strengthen it. We pray for its leadership, that you would continue to give them wisdom, understanding, direction, and guidance. You would give them innovation to move beyond where this club has been. So bless, we pray, God, and cover everything as they fellowship and they celebrate. Let your richest grace and blessing be upon them, because they have trust in thee. They have looked unto you. So cause your face to shine upon them. Cause your hands to be upon them today. And be gracious to all, we pray in Jesus' name.
Thank you, Bishop. Thank you for the inspiring prayer for us, our football fraternity, our families. We thank you. Can everybody see me here? All right, okay. Well, all right, very good. Well, again, it's my first time hosting. I got the hard job today to do this, so I'm the host for you all. So before we start, I am honored. I'm really honored. I think maybe we were not, last night we were not here. We were by Chef Robbie. And let me say again, thank you so much, Robbie, for entertaining, our guests night before, Thursday night, and giving us your space, to enjoy a moment with the legends, with the people that taught us so much, who inspired us. I'm honored here today to be here as your host, because when I look down into the crowd, I see former players, I see the greats that I looked up to when I was playing, like Mr. Lucy Innocent, Mr. Charlie Brown. Well, I didn't see much. I heard so much about you. So it's a privilege to be here, to spend some time with you and to honor you all. Mr. Swiber Sime, a cricketer, a footballer, a legend, and I love this. Guys, well done, because I love this. We are honoring the people that did so much for us. Mr. Charlemagne, and I could go on and speak my truth, as I always say, my truth, because I saw and I learned, and I think where I reached in my life is because of y'all. I said it, and I will always keep saying it, because y'all inspired me, y'all motivated me from a little boy at VBCC to a Clery boy, a 13-year-old, on the field each day, and a Clery boy. The teachers who inspired us, who educated us, we thank you all too. We thank you all, Mr. Vernon Nicholas, Mr. Julian Monrose. We appreciate everything. I see a good friend of mine, Mr. Midget Pierre, is here with us. As always, thank you, our media. Thank you for being here. Let me first of all take this moment to invite our keynote speaker. Again, I'm happy. It's me. It's my turn to introduce, somebody special, a footballer who always plays with a smile, someone who gave us so much in Clery to be proud of. When he graced us on the field, it was pure class, as I always say. A dribbler, a man of honor, because he always protected the young players, always spoke well of the young players, always encouraged us, the young players. I know I'm getting old, but don't worry. Let me call on stage right now our keynote speaker to deliver a few remarks to us, Mr. George Shalmine. And I forgot to say, my lawyer, counsel.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Well, thanks very much for your comments. Some of them I'm not aware of, but I'm happy for them anyway. Tonight, I will try, endeavor in my own way, to be as good as Earl's brother was last year. I think he was excellent. And for those of us who were here last year, I think Kent, we know him as Kent, or Father, former president of the VBCC. He did an excellent job in letting us know the history of this club, the history of this place, Clery, and all of those who in the past contributed to the development of football in Clery. So I want to thank him for that. But I have some good news for you guys. I'm not going to be as long as Kent. I believe that the best speech is really a very short one, because I, for one, I don't have a very long span of following anything, so I don't want to bore you guys either, and then you lose me. Okay, so here goes. Tonight, I want to first of all honor all the legends who have been, how would I say, prominent sportsmen in this community. Again, I will fast forward. If I have to go about mentioning, it will take another half an hour. But I want to give a special mention to Mr. Charlie Brown and his lovely wife, who has graced us with their presence tonight. And I've only met him for a few days, but I'm very, very fond of him, simply because last night, when I endeavored to play football for the first time in 2 years, he was saying to me on the sideline, "But are you the fella they call in Skins?" I didn't say anything. So we hit it off right away. All right. Again, as Earl said, it really is an honor for me to be asked to give this keynote speech. And coming on the heels of the 62nd anniversary of the Vidbutai Cultural Club, the only club in my recollection that have a proper clubhouse in St. Lucia and have been in existence for that time with a proper physical structure. So I want us to give Vidbutai Cultural Club a round of applause. Vidbutai Cultural Club, whether we like it or not, is the mother of all clubs and all football in Clery. We all know that in the 70s, another club was formed called All Stars, and I grew up in the All Stars tradition. They rose to national prominence. They had some very good players. Then I'll pause to mention people like Mr. Hendrickson, St. Marf, otherwise known as Hendy, Loshi, my cousin Dalkim Shalmine, and I don't see that many around here. But they rose to national prominence. They won a number of trophies. But again, my friend Hala always corrects me and says, we beat them in the finals. So anyway, so I want to say that this activity that we've started, this being our second anniversary, is a magnificent idea. And I've met persons and footballers from other clubs and communities that want to do the same thing. We have now started something. Clery has always been the one in the forefront. And I'm hoping that if they follow us this time, the other club, that they'll not get fever. I just want them to know that no matter how hard they try, we will still be in the forefront as Clery. I mean, just take a look around you guys, compare that to last year, and whoever that did this, who organized it, who orchestrated it, they too need a round of applause. And I would love you. This looks something straight out of a FIFA Congress. I don't know if people have seen a FIFA Congress, but that looks something directly out of that. And thanks again, guys. There's 3 modest guys in the corner over there, but I'd like to call out their names: Ellis Black Jr., Robert Black, and Dexter. I fondly call him Gaje. We all know why. All right? I mean, these guys have done a fantastic job. The football, for me, I'm not here to talk about my own life, but I just want to share one little thing about football. And maybe it's the position I played, but I owe my life to football. Because football taught me to be competitive. Football taught me to want to win. Football taught me to want to score. And always to be able to reach the goals that I've set for myself. Growing up, sometimes they were unrealistic, but then eventually you reach your level playing field where you realize what you can achieve and what you cannot achieve. But I will tell people that my grounding, my discipline, my perseverance, all of that came out of football. And so I always encourage young people to play sport. Not necessarily football, but sport, because sport develops not just the body, but it also develops the mind. Strengthens the individual. Now, where do we go from here with these legends? I see mainly us older folk here. But it is my view and my vision, because without a vision, everything perishes. My view and my vision for this activity is that it transcends this room, it transcends us older folks, and it rebounds in the community. Today we live in an era where, I mean, it's unbelievable in terms of what's happening to our young people. And whichever way we can use this activity to engender positive vibes in the young people, we need to. We need to take this one step from just us. You know, I mean, it's fun. It's been fun. It's a fun week. I mean, it's nice to see all the older guys. I mean, some of us attempted to play football yesterday. You know, it was a highlight. You know, the little line by Robbie. You know, I mean, it was such good camaraderie. But we must use this as an example to the young people growing up. We must infuse them. We must get them to get a sense of not just football, but a sense of community as well. And try to develop themselves in a positive manner. Coming to the part that I think you all like, I'm just about to conclude by saying that Clery is a special community. Cleryans look out for each other wherever they may be in the world. And of those of you all in the diaspora, I know you're all aware of that. Clery has always been described not as a community, but as a clan. The other guys in parts of Castries just can't get it in their heads why we are so close. I don't know why myself, but it's something I love and I enjoy. And I always look forward to being in Clery. We have some budding politicians here, and I know that they are going to do the best that they can for the community, win, lose, or draw. My former Radicals teammate. So, guys, thanks again for the opportunity to address you all. Sorry, I didn't last too long, but I'm sure nobody's bored. And I would like to end by saying, if you follow the Clery boys, you'll get fever in your liver, and the fever will never recover. Thank you.
We got together with Pastor Chris and Pastor Stephen on Thursday to just go in after the presence of God and try to pen lyric and melody. And after a couple of hours, it just felt like the presence of God just stopped everything. And we wrote a song called The Blessing. And it's straight from Scripture. And it's the heart of the Father over us as his kids. And we're gonna sing it this morning if that's okay. And this is a blessing over you and your family and your children. So just receive this morning. Just put your hands out in front of you. Turn your heart to a place of just receiving the blessing of heaven from God himself over you this morning.
What inspiring song. Mr. George Almine, again, thank you so much for your inspiring words. Thank you for what you have done and what you keep doing to our community, for our community, and for young players in St. Lucia. As I'm here tonight, I have to take that opportunity because, again, when I was growing up, I was always the young one in the group of older players. So every time I get a chance to, highlight our players, because my mentors, I call them my mentors, I take an opportunity to do it. Right? I'm happy to do it. So I just want to say a good evening to Hilarion Dean Alfred, one of our special talented players, played basketball for St. Lucia, played football for St. Lucia. Hilarion Alfred played everything, table tennis, and he's one of the guys that really, really inspired me when I was growing up because I wanted to be like him. They called me ball hog, but he was the ball hog because he played everything. And he was good at everything. There are players that people that try to play everything and they cannot do it. Well, don't be mistaken. Hilarion Alfred, Big Dean, Scamper, always an honor to be around you. Thank you for being here. And as I look through the crowd, I still want to say good evening to Mr. Kieran Black. Mr. Kieran Black, thank you for coming, for being here. Another legend of ours. Well, I must call out Perkins. Well, we know Perkins. Andrew, Mr. Andrew. Again, thank you for being here. It looked like I'm calling out the strikers, but don't take offense. Brogody and y'all don't take offense. Marcellus, don't take offense. Basketball, our basketball international player, one of the first players that got a scholarship to go out to the US from Clery, who played for St. Lucia, was one of our top high jumpers, one of our best high jumpers in the country. At the time, it was David Colimo, another VBCC member, and Marcellus dominating the charts, dominating the Windward Islands, the OACS in high jump. So big respect to you, Marcy. Well done. Again, let me mention Our coaches, some of our coaches, past and present, who made the difference in our lives. Many of us, or all of us here, some of them who are not here today with us, but I'm sure that all of us still think about them and hold them in high esteem. And when I speak of the coaches, I speak about Mr. Walter Joseph. Let's give him a round of applause. Mr. Walter Joseph, who toiled with us, the young players, who ran every morning, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, up to college, on the beach, running on the road every morning and back every afternoon. Never did I hear Mr. Walter Joseph say that he was fed up or tired, or he gave everything. He gave us love. He invited us to his home. He accepted us. He cooked for us. His wife cooked for us. So I want to say a special mention, to his lovely wife and family here with us tonight. Thank you so much. Be proud of what your husband did. He elevated all of us inside there. He played his part. So thank you so much. Another one, I guess, Mr. I don't know if I'll have anything to say about that. Mr. Cornelius Scott Joseph Scotty, who took another stalwart coach who, although we say he always liked winning, he wanted to win at all costs. Scotty was one that bought the transfer market into effect in Clery. He bought everybody he could have gotten from Castries to play in Clery, all the top players. And I know strugglers, the members, Fabian, they still hold that, still depressed about those years of licks. But don't worry, Fabian, you'll get a chance sometime. So Mr. Cornelius Scott, may soul rest in peace. He passed, this year, and send out love because he was a very special friend of mine too. Also, I want to mention Isley, who, for me, Isley, Ras Isley, as we call him. Ras Isley was the one who taught me, who stayed with me early in the mornings, anything skillfully he thought of or he had in his mind, he would come and give it back to me, and many of us. And although a Rasta man at the time, still a Ras, our only Ras, I guess, Isley used to smoke his joint. Right? And I always knew that my parents, or my father, and one of my brothers, I won't mention which one, they're always afraid. Because they always felt that the CDC and the guys down there went by making his CMOS and giving us CMOS to drink, they thought it would have weed in it, and we'd be high, and that would, throw us off the path. But like I said on Thursday night, and I'll continue to say, not once in my life that any ghetto man, anybody from the block, or the CDC, or the graveyard, Marshall, wherever I played, wherever I walked, not once did they ever offer me a joint. So for me, I always hold the ghetto and the ghetto people in high esteem because they're the ones who encouraged me. They were the ones who come in to support me and other players all over St. Lucia and all over the Caribbean because some of them travel with the national team at the time. So I say that to say that we don't judge people because of little things they do. But we judge them on what difference they make in somebody's life. And my motto, and I'm someone, for me, I always say, if I could change one life, I've done my work. And I will keep on doing that for the rest of my life because my goal is to help develop our young people in St. Lucia. And I know all of you all here think the same way. because I've grown up with y'all, I know y'all still give back, y'all still do everything for the young people in our community and in St. Lucia. So we have to continue supporting our coaches, the new ones that are coming up, like Zane Pierre, and maybe Dexter. Well, I see, I like how your wife dressed you today. You know, one of my close football friends, colleague, who was out in Europe with me at one time in England, played on the national senior team with me and the Olympic team of St. Lucia. Dexter, we went through a lot, but thank you for your friendship. Thank you. All right. As we move along, I'm speaking for a while because I know that we're going to run through things in a while, because we're not going to be here too long. I just want to say to the sponsors, let me just pick up the sponsors. We have so many sponsors. I think Kayo was a little upset because he felt that jazz don't get so much support. I would like to say a special thank you to our sponsors who made this day possible for us. And it's our second year. It's our second journey, and many more to come. And they are playing a big part, a big role. You don't get many sponsors. I'm a big critic of sponsors, because a lot of the times they don't come out and put the money where the mouth is. They don't put the money into our young people. And I will always chastise them, some of them, for that, because they need to do more for our young people. They are quick to criticize and say that the young ones has no discipline, and the young ones destroy everything in the community. But when it comes to putting out and investing in our young talent, we don't do enough. So I call the sponsors when I need to say thank you, I say thank you to them. And when I need to give them some stick, I put some stick on them. Right? So thank you so much to our sponsors, Sandals Resort, Sandals Halcyon Resort, S&H Construction, Tenderoni, I think that's a sponsor we're here. Tenderoni, wow. Okay, thank you so much for your support. I would like to say a big thank you to our Honorable Minister Stevenson King for his support for this event. Mr. Tony Walcott, Body Holiday, Stolen Time Hotel, Mr. Stephen Favrier, Cosmopolitan Car Rentals, Consumer Guarantee Insurance, I have a lot more. You could see why I told you all that Kayo is not happy. Judy Slaughter, Leonard Jr. McGay, Nikki T. Collision, Philip Joseph, Jack Tomlinson, Dane Cox, Winston Regis, Matthew Brabel, Kissman Dekai, Dina Hibley Fernandez, Collins Busby, Quen James, Linus James, Cyril Simei, Deeper Than Soka, George Shalmine. I call you last because I know you put a lot of money. Continue doing that. Yes, so once again, thank you to our sponsors for making all this possible. And now I will call on Mr. Ellis Black to join me on stage. Yes, I didn't speak of Mr. Ellis Black. I mentioned his name. But a former player, former legend. He's a legend. He's a legend because, and I think he's our only pilot in Clery. So if we need somebody to fly us anyway, check Mr. Black. Right? But Mr. Junior Black played, I remember him playing stopper when we first formed our first team in Clery, it was Mr. Junior Ellis Black, Mr. Robert Black, Randy James, Apik Ernest James, who we fired. He was our goalkeeper, but we fired him. He still takes offense to that because we were a very disciplined team at the time. And Mr. Black was a very, very inspiring player too. A no-nonsense player, who made the Clery under-18s and the senior team. And I was always disappointed because he was one of my favorite players because he always did the dirty work in the midfield. And I always thought it strange for some reason that he was never around the national setup whilst we were there because I knew of his qualities, so it's something I always spoke about. But we knew that Cleryans always got the hard stick when it comes to the national team. I'm not afraid to say that. Now, I've stopped playing, so I could say that. Right? But we always got the raw deal because the quality that we had in Clery, from Mr. Shalmine to Mr. Innocent to Hilarion Alfred to Victor Eugene, I could call so many of our players. Those who are not here, Roti, Leroy Hunt. There's so many players, but they didn't get the opportunity. I got it. Although I grabbed it in both hands, I never gave way to it. So I just want to say, you still get all your flowers from me because you're still my champion, always. Right? So as we go into the awards, we go into our 1960 awards ceremony where we call on our awardees and Mr. Ellis Black. Right? We'll call on Mr. George Alexander, 1960 awardee. And again, you can see the importance of the guys, the committee, doing a very, very good job in remembering, a man, a stalwart in the community, who played his part, who motivated many before me, who inspired us and is here today, getting his blue jacket tonight. Mr. George Alexander just whispered to me that he's a legend. Mr. George, you are a legend. You are a living legend. Let's get a nice round of applause for Mr. George Alexander. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Next on the list, we have Mr. Kenny James. I don't know if the young people would know Kenny, Mr. Kenny James. The James family has been inspiring to our community of Clery, and we have Cuthbert James to receive on his behalf. Mr. Cuthbert James, Mr. Kenny James, our singer, who taught everyone to sing. It's a pity Allah never sang for us, so I don't know what happened. The James family, legendary in Clery, have done so much for our young people, for our footballers, for our, so much for our community. So we welcome them into the family again. And also, we would like to say a special greetings to Mr. Kenny James. Mr. James, just 1 minute. Mr. James, 1 minute. We'd just like you to say a few words. It's a shot. A shot. 1 minute, 2 minutes.
So, thank you. Thank you, the legends of Clery, for putting on this. I must say, when I walk in here, I really appreciated the decorations. And I think that's top class. Yes, just let me recognize, I hope I'm not taking too much time, but I'd like to recognize Mr. George Alexander. I remember when I started watching football, George used to play center forward for the VBCC club. And this guy was one of the fastest center forward I had seen around this time. And he always had his goal scored. All right, I want to say a few words on behalf of my brother, Lawrence Kenneth James. Everybody know him as Kenny, right? Kenny always loved his football. He loved, from what I could recall, Kenny always would kick anything in his path, whether it be a tin can, a stone, and you remember you used to have the small coconuts, Kenny kicked. But the thing I think he liked to kick the most was the football. And Kenny, as I could recall, my mother used to say, Kenny was the guy who used the most shoes in Clery. and she used to complain that Kenny had destroyed more shoes than all of us combined. And when I tell you all of us, it's quite a lot of us. Right? She used to say, T-boy is a fun way. That's where I came here. He got fun way. Right? But despite that, she helped Kenny to fulfill his dream of being one of the best footballers Clery has ever seen. Kenny used to be in the wing. A combination of Kenny and Stan Phillips. They had that combination where Kenny usually played on the right or left wings, while Stanley played on the inner part of the forward line. At that time, I think it was Earl Lewis was the captain of the team. And Earl Lewis was able to observe the synergy between Kenny and Stanley Phillips. So Earl always had them playing together. Earl always had them playing together as the inner or outer left, and the roles were interchangeable. So they both had a chance to play either on the wing or the inside. One of the amazing things I found about Kenny and Stanley is that the way they were able to find gaps in between the field, the way they were able to find gaps between the field, and how I couldn't understand how these fellas used to get the placement so that the other one, by the time they passed that ball, the other one was in place to kick that ball to the goal. This was something I really found difficult to understand. But they did it, somehow they did it, and they were encouraged by the captain, Earl, who would allow them sometimes to interchange. So like Kenny might move to the right wing and Stanley on the other side. This strategy at the time, and during that period, football was rough. This strategy from moving from one side to the next was to avoid, to safeguard themselves. Because during that era, the footballers were rough, and if your opponents felt that you were doing too well, they would try to get you out on the sidelines, to send you on the sideline. I don't have to explain what I mean by the sidelines. But that was the kind of thing. That's one of the strategies that they had. Kenny went on, he went on to play for the national team. He went on to play for the national team as one of the top footballers. I remember seeing they play a match against the Martinique side, one of the strongest Martinique teams. And Kenny excelled, and I was so proud that he was the one to score the first goal. He was the one to score the first goal. Unfortunately, they won that match. Kenny didn't stay too long in the football, in the St. Lucia football, because he had to migrate to the United States. So whilst he was in the United States, he continued to play his football. And he applied to go on trials for the New York Cosmo team. And he played one or two matches. But unfortunately, he could not make it to the team. So I've given the nod to try and clear the stage. But he went on, he continued, and he continued to be active in the football, and also he became a coach and administrator. Kenny, I just wanted to congratulate you on behalf of all of us, right? And the Clery community celebrate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. James, for that. Thank you. Yeah. No, that's okay. Okay, thank you so much. Next awardee, we would like to call Mr. Edwin Ferdinand to the stage. Anthony Ferdinand will receive on his behalf, someone who has done so much again for football. I think he is one of the members of the Clery League. Mr. Ferdinand, by all accounts, I knew, who watched me grow up. He took my hands.
Good job.
He took my hands and he led me all the way to the Clery field at times. Congratulations, Mr. Ferdinand. Well deserved. Just come.
Good evening to all. I want to thank the Clery committee, Legends Committee, on behalf of my brother Edwin Ferdinand. sorry he couldn't be here tonight because, well, he's in the U.S. He said to me when I spoke to him that he would be following the ceremony on YouTube. So I guess he is. When my first impression of my brother, seeing him playing football for VBCC, that was March, I went to see a game. And at the time, I didn't have the finance. So I used to make rat. Yes. So Edwin, my brother, I'm watching him playing football. I'm saying, but there are giants on that field. And the guy is so small, you know. And I gathered that's why he got the name Tweet Tweet, being that small. And for his size and height, I could not imagine why they had him playing defense. Because for me, anytime that ball was, kicked, it was over his head. But in that position, he played good football, and that particular day, it rained quite a bit, and I saw him sliding, all over the place. And I said, boy, that brother of mine, somebody will break, these two sticks, that he has. But fortunately, he played the whole game, and he continued playing for, quite some time, for the club. And my last words is I want to say thank you again to the Clery Legends Committee for this award on his behalf. Thank you, guys. Okay.
Yes, Mr. Tweet Tweet, Mr. Edwin Ferdinand, former VBCC member, a VBCC member, I should say, and a no-nonsense man. When we saw him, we knew that our voices at the club had to be very low. We couldn't, there was no, the club always stood for discipline. And we knew when the senior members were around, we knew how to behave. So, well done. As we go on, we call on the 1970s awardees. And I would like to have on stage with me Mr. Dave Felicity. Our first awardee, a gentleman, again, a legend. And when we talk about legends, this is a true legend. Played for St. Lucia, played cricket, played football, he was one that excelled at his sport. And he was always, and even up to, maybe he didn't play this game, but up to the recent past, maybe last year or two, Mr. Swibert Simei was always on that field out there with our footballers, always. Our Fed match team, Hala is always there, Uncle Hala. Hala was very instrumental in a lot of the young talents elevating themselves and keeping themselves in a certain way in Clery. And we could see that by his young son, Sidale, the influence that he had with us, it passed on to his son. Allah, a champion, you're a true champion, you're a true friend to so many young men and old men, but I'll put myself in the young category, But I have a lot of respect for you. All of us have a lot of respect for you because you never stayed away from us. You were always one of the senior members that were always around, guiding and inspiring us. So again, let's give a big welcome to Mr. Swibert Simei, better known as Hala.
And to make this presentation, we would like to welcome his son, Sidel Simei. You are needed on stage. Somebody please usher Sidel Simei to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sidel Simei.
Yes, one of our top soca artists, one of my favorites. I still feel as they do here, we don't highlight Mr. Sidel enough because he's a champion. He's a champion, you know. Oh, I like that fit in here. You should have fit in here. It's good to see your son dressing you, you know. Well done. Well done. Okay, no problem. Say the way to for the pictures.
I'll be very short. Good evening to all. I'll be very short, brief. I just want to thank the Clery Legends Committee for putting together this enormous project of recognizing contributions of those of us who have played our part in the development of what we all refer to as a beautiful game. What we witnessed here tonight is a brainchild of Ernest James Elias Appic and his dedicated crew of Dave, Robert Black, and the others. Let me give some advice to those who would be nominees for next year. Prepare to be hounded by phone calls from Dave. Asking a litany of football questions of your era, as he did to me. Dave would call me from England, connect me with Dana in Trinidad at any time of the night. In Trinidad, interrogating would start. The football interrogations would start. So I said to this, where was I? I say all this just to show how dedicated the members of the committee are to make this initiative a resounding success. Thanks again for the recognition. Right.
Thank you again, Alan. Thank you. Let's give Mr. Swiver Simei a round of applause again and his son, Sidel. Now we call on a famous footballer. I don't want to call him a Trini because somebody told me he's a Trini, and I said I cannot recall him being a Trini because they called me a Trini too. But I've heard so much about this legend. I've gotten so many stories, and whether it's from Trinidad or St. Lucia, they told me that was the defender you had to get through if you wanted to be a champion. It's a pity that I didn't get a chance to play with you, because I would have taken it as a challenge because of the wonderful words that I heard of Mr. Charlie Brown. So let's again welcome Mr. Charlie Brown as one of our recipients of this award, who flew all the way from the United States to be here with us. And if you saw Mr. Charlie last night dancing around, you would understand how happy he is to be here with us. Yes, we are watching one of the legends, a Caribbean legend. He was one of the best, from what I heard, the best in Trinidad and Tobago, and the best defender in St. Lucia. Just bear with Mr. Brown. He danced a lot last night. I'm telling you, he danced a lot last night. So he's a little tired today, I could understand.
It's like I'm more nervous than Mr. Brown.
Charlie, give it. No, just say it too. A few words. Just 1 minute. Don't worry about it.
Good night, everyone. It's very good to be in St. Lucia, and better yet, to be in the best part of St. Lucia, in the Clery community. I came to live and work in St. Lucia in about August 17th. I first joined Paragon Sports Club because I used to play for Paragon Sports Club in Trinidad. My first year was Paragon was uneventful. I enjoyed it, but Mr. Downs, if he's here, Wally Downs, a co-worker at Pete Mavic, was in my Clery. So for that whole period, he was talking about Clery, and he encouraged me to join Clery. And that was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my football career in St. Lucia. From day one, I felt at ease and comfortable. I was welcomed by management of Clery, all the players of Clery, and all the footballers. While at Clery, I was appointed coach of the Clery football team. So I was coach and player. I used to play for Paragon in Trinidad, where we won a lot of trophies and so on. So when I came to Clery, I felt at ease with the club atmosphere. At Paragon in Trinidad, we had football, cricket, cycling, and there's one other sport, the cycling team, and athletics team. So we had quite a variety of sports in which we excelled at. So when I came to the Clery and the setup, I felt at home in the club atmosphere, the community and love, togetherness of Clery. And that stayed with me all the years I've been at Clery. There's a sort of a Clery culture where we how they speak about Clery, you felt welcome and at ease. So I coached and played at Clery, and I had the support of all the players. I started by adopting most of the ideas I got from my coach in Trinidad and tried to pass it on to all the Clery footballers. My motto then was, get fit. You have to be fit to play the game. So I had them going. We have to be fit first. And when you are fit physically, you mentally get fit, your mind gets stronger, you are aware of everything, so the football game gets easier. So fitness first, sharp mind, and you play according to what the coach's plan is. I got all that from my coach in Trinidad, and I put in some of my own ideas. So I had players getting fit, and we played as a team. And I always said, what you lack in skills, you make up for in fitness and teamwork. And all the years I stayed in Clery, I always had that support of the players. I used to drill them. I, on my part, used to lime and drink and party and so on. But when it comes to football, I used to train on my own at Winston and Susie. I used to run up the VG stretch, turn left. It was VG Airport then. Turn left at VG Airport, almost to see, and turn back and run back home. When it's time to practice at the Clery grounds, I used to use different roads to get to the club, over the hills. And so I used to run from home to the Clery field on days that we had to practice. And when we had to practice, we used to train hard to make sure everybody's physically fit. And I got the support of all the members. Walter Downs, he's the one who encouraged me to come. He was one of the players at the time. He had the two Sears brothers, Charlo and Richie. They were there yesterday, right? And Carol and Dana McIntosh, they're not here. They're in and between Trinidad. But I always were in touch with Carol and Dana. And I always met them in the various steel pan yards. So wherever they span, they were there, and Charlie Brown was always there. Right. Who else was there? So, I find at times that I cannot remember all the players' names. And when they tell me, I used to this, I used to that, I say, sure, but I can't remember at all. But I felt the love of all the community, younger than me, who only saw me play football, who I never played with. And I got all that vibes of love. And I sort of respect them. So since I've been here from Thursday, Friday, yesterday, it was all praise and adoration. And thank you. But I, on my part, have to thank the Clery, because that spirit of Clery, which is a community base, that is what keeps sports alive. In my days, there was no professional football. There was no sort of insurance for injury. You get injured, go home and get your foot fixed in your own way. So it was more love of the game, love of the people you play with. But that special Clery love always been there. All the people of the diaspora who are away, some of them have come back. Right? But that Clery willing to come back home and to be with the club, that is a unique trait which you don't find very often. So as Earl just said, that love of community and love of sports generally is what keeps community together and what keeps a country together through sports. I only played football, right? So I'm surprised at sometimes when you find players playing or excelling in almost every sport that they touch. And that's very well and good. So you have to take care of your legends, all those who are there to support and guide young people, encourage them, be strict and firm with them. Discipline is the key in any sports game or any sphere of life. You must be disciplined. If you have no discipline, it's a waste of time. You have to abide by the rules and regulations of all the games. So I can say I thank Clery for giving me the opportunity to coach and play with them. Right? Quite a lot of them have passed, and that kind of grieves me that some of the players who are expected to outlive me, they're not here anymore. But I always remember them. Right? Sometimes I don't remember where they played, but I remember them. And once they say, Charlie Brown, like you, boy? Yes. And they all make me feel welcome. So thank you all very much. It's a great pleasure to be here. And I hope that you'll continue this tradition. And I'll be here next year or whenever God's spare. All the best to all Actarians. And I'll be on the walk. I will say, if you what? Yeah.
Mr. Charlie wants to sing, if you follow the Clery boys, you get fever in your liver, and the fever will never recover.
Long live Clery.
Thank you, Mr. Charlie Brown. Thank you. Again, for the younger ones too, you all heard it. Hard work, discipline, right? Teamwork, the things that were part of Mr. Charlie Brown's life. Again, a Trini, a Lucian to the bone. He has found a family in Clery, and we're so happy that Mr. Charlie Brown is one of us. Thank you so much, Mr. Charlie Brown. As we move along, we call Carol McIntosh. I think that's our next awardee. I think she's absent.
Yes. Mr. Carol McIntosh, he is not here presently, so we're going to move on with the program, and it's one of us, we're going to collect his award on his behalf after the show. So we're moving along now.
Okay, we're moving right along. We want to call the 1980s awardees, and we want to call Mr. Rizmi, Dexter Rizmi, Shatla, Gaji, all what you call him. I know you're not a Gaji, but Shatla, right? Dexter Rizmi was a striker, a forward, one of my co-partners. My colleague and my left hand, my right hand and my left hand. We played together. I used to jump high, but he used to really make the height. I think he was really, really inspiring when I was playing. And I think that's why I started working with Marcellus and DT on the basketball court so that I could try to touch the rim so that I could make more height than Dexter. So Dexter is one of our former national players of St. Lucia, an Olympic player too for St. Lucia. So let's give Mr. Dexter a round of applause, please. Our first awardee tonight in the 1980s era, we call Mr. Earl Fessal. Earl Fessal. He's not there? Okay, he's not here today. We're moving right along. I think we will get back to him. We would like to call Mr. Henderson Loshi Sedmarth. I think when you see this gentleman, you saw him last night, maybe he had about 2 or 3 falls. I gave him some advice because for so many years I've been watching him. I watched him. And what I remember vividly, about this great striker, a bicycle kick that Mr. Loshi did, and it never escaped my mind. Mr. Loshi is one that played for All Stars, a legend, a very active player, a very strong player, dynamic, influential. I think it was all about Loshi in Clery in those days. Loshi was one of our greatest star strikers that passed through. So welcome, Loshi. You made all the journey, a long journey, but thank you for being here with us. Let's give him a round of applause. You're really looking at the greats. We're watching the greats. Don't mind the little belly. Don't mind the little belly. She was a fit man. A fit player. I think that's the food he ate by Chef Robbie. It's taking effect. Yeah, man, you're looking good, man. I'm gonna say a few words, Lush.
Oh man, it's a tough one. I'm a shy guy, though. First of all, I want to say thank you, guys. Great job. Let's applaud them. 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 They're turning their backs on me. I just applaud you guys. I just applaud you guys. Guys, where do I start? First, I come here for heavy heart. We're celebrating this tonight, but I have back in the States. I live in the States. We have one of our sisters. Her first daughter just died from Clery, Priscilla, John's sister. So when we go back, I wear that jacket. When we go back, we go into a funeral on the 30th, which would be like a Clery reunion, but a different. But most of us from Clery that live in the States, in New York, we're going to be there. So I think they're watching. I just want them to know that our hearts with them. We want to accept our sympathy to all of them. I will bring that when I go to let them know that I have them, because Priscilla is one of ours. She left a long time ago, and they have done a lot. They organized the Clery reunion. When we did that, they did a lot for the community. So I just want to let them know that our hearts, we feel for them and things. With that said, I'll move on. As a young fella, I grew up in the bachelor's, we call it the ghetto, whatever. And I want to mention some people here. And it's about community. When I grew up in Clery, it's about community. Nazi, Ali Coco, all these guys, Bosso. These guys make me play pen. They put me on a crate. They play pen because I was a little VNA, I was a VNA at the time, and to keep me straight. But again, as a community, they held us, they saw the potential in me. And guys, they have guys that come up to me here now today, young guys say, boy, Loshi, you're the greatest. And I feel humble. But again, we have a community. So that I want us to keep, and the young people that are listening. We got two assets. I made that a couple of days ago. We have two good things going first in Clery. The best assets to make us good sports. We have the field we own and the beach. That's the two best things we have in Clery. Right? And we should always, I get the story. When I first came back, I went to the States in 1984. I came back after 20 years. I passed, and the horses were on the field eating. I was pissed. I said, listen, because we play on the field morning, noon, and night. You know, I was really, really small, but it looked like we're coming back. But again, it's a community. This is a community. With that community, the older fellas, the young people, I want you to listen, though. Discipline is the key. Discipline is the key. As young people now, we have a lot going on in the country. We have a lot of things that could bring you astray. Please stay away from it. You might come to little bumps and things, but don't give up, please. Stay focused. Your parents, please stay with them. They want the best for you. You know what I mean? So we have to keep on that track for us to stay as a good community. And it's always about community. So I want to preach that. Community, you know what I mean? The young people, please, don't get caught up in it, please. You know, we're in the States and every time bad news, and, let's just try and make a difference. Listen to your parents. Important. Stay focused. It might be a little tough. But stick with it. You know what I mean? Especially now you'll have so many opportunities. When I grow up, if I had the opportunities you'll have now, it'll be different. When I grew up, we played soccer, we played football, we loved it. We didn't get nothing from it. Now there are opportunities, you get scholarships, you go to states, you go anywhere. It's wide. So take it, stay focused, stay disciplined. I preach in discipline. And parents, stick with your parents, please. Your parents want good for you. All right? So with that said, good night. Thanks again for having me here. I appreciate it. All right? Thank you very much.
Right. Again, you heard the words, discipline, hard work, community. It takes a village, it takes a community, to raise kids. And I know for a fact, I am proof that the Clery community took care of me, and the Clery community made me who I am today. So well said, Loshi. Okay, next up on the list, awardee Victor Eugene. Victor Eugene, my neighbor up Active Hill. I remember Victor, his brother Vincent, Mel, Iriras, Italras, Melton. They're the ones that used to walk me down to the Clery playing field from Active Hill when I was a little boy. And they always encouraged me, so I always looked up to those guys. And, I'm proud to see you receiving your jacket because at least I got to see you play. I got to see you represent La Clery. I remember my days sitting in the bus with you all, not saying a word because I didn't want you all to get me off the bus because I was so young. So I used to leave my little Bamsi on the battery, hot, because I didn't want to disturb your sitting arrangements so that you all could leave me on. So, an influencer in our community, one who guided us, so well done. Congratulations, Victor.
Good night, everybody. Like the other recipients before me, I just want you to put your hands together for Robert, Ernest, Dexter, Dave. I'm happy to be here this evening to be receiving this award. But I want to acknowledge somebody because Earl made some remarks concerning our past coaches. And I don't think he mentioned Richard Sayers. Is he here? Richard Sayers. Yeah, Richard Sayers happened to be our coach of the La Clery team. I remember it was 1984. Yeah, and I remember we found ourselves in many semi-finals, finals, and we used to camp at the La Clery school. And this team was very much together. We were like family. And I can recall fellas like George Shalmine, Perkins, Robert Skeet, Paulinus Louis, Big Dean. This team was a formidable team. And wherever we go, we held the name of La Clery real high. Can you imagine you go to Vieux-Fort and play against Vieux-Fort? The whole of Vieux-Fort, just because of La Clery, the whole of Vieux-Fort would come to see this game. So I'm thankful for receiving this award. And I want to make mention of Charlie Brown. I've heard so many stories about Charlie Brown. I only saw Charlie Brown play one match. That was against CYO. And I've never seen him after that, And I'm so happy to be here tonight, to be at least rubbing shoulders with him, And Charlie, before you go, I want to pick with you. Because up to now, people still speak about you. You are a household name when it comes to football, and like you, I was a defender, and I always, kept you in mind. So tonight, before I leave here, I want to pick with you. So thank you, everybody, and all the best.
Again, well done. All your hard work, Mr. Eugene. We thank you, Clery, thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. All right. Okay, we're moving along. We go into the 1990s awardees, and I'd like to call on Mr. Ernest Appick James on stage, and Mr. Ernest Appick James, the founder of the group, the Legends, and a man that has put in so much work, into having this event. He's a very shy guy, but what I could tell you is that when he's on the field or he's out there, he's not shy. And you have to be very careful with this man. If you watch him, Appick. But he's a guy, he's someone with a lot of love. He's someone that likes to help. He's always willing. Although it was the blacks, Mr. Ellis Black and Robert Black, who fired him from Juventus. His two best buddies, and his brother Hazard. They fired him. It wasn't me. I was no part of it. I was not there. Appick was one of our goalkeepers for Clery. He played our youth goalkeeper. He was very, very. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. No, he was a very good goalkeeper and very staunch player, very dynamic too. Plays out on the field when necessary. And last night we saw a bit of it last night when he came out and he saved 2 goals last night. So although I wanted you to get the award, you didn't get it. But on behalf of Bolog, for me, you were the best goalkeeper last night. Right? Thank you, Appick. All right, so first, the 1990 awardee, Anthony Seton Innocent, another striker. Is he? Another striker, another powerful one that came through Clery. One of our best strikers of the ball. I think Mr. Dighton, one of the Charlemagnes, will pick up his award. So jacket first. Jacket first. Trophy. Medal and then. Yeah, and go. And just this. Sure. For some reason, it looked like Clery just had strikers alone, from Robbie Skit to George Charlemagne to Perkins. Well, KB, you were a striker too. KB, you wanted to be a striker, right? Yeah, like everybody. Yes. All right. So come and say a few words. You good? Not long.
Beautiful people. That's what we are. If nobody ever told you that, beautiful people, that's what we are.
Thank you, my brother. Couldn't have said it better. Luckily, we have beautiful people. Handsome men, beautiful young women. Mrs. Latcher, watch her. Give her a round of applause. Please. Her husband, the late Mr. Vincent Latcher, taught many of us at school, a disciplinarian, a musician, was one of the founding members of the Clery Football League, you know, and an inspiring figure. When they say tall, you're short, but tall at heart and tall in personality. And we miss him, we will always miss him because he was just a special man, you know. Next on the list, we have Andrew. I think I should call Dave to say that for me, please. Andrew Perkins Imam. Andrew. Giddy up, Andrew. And they say that because you're watching a striker. Again, we had so many strikers, but Perkins, again, very, very fast, one of our fastest players, you know, and very committed to Clery, you know, whether they brought him on, whether he started, and he was part of that famous team of Clery. Thank you, Perkins. Andrew, I love to say that. Andrew. Believe me, he was a great player. We had some talent. Listen to me, Clery is special. I will always say that. And like we said, Clery is the only community. I think it's the capital of Castries, and they have their own beach, they have their own hotels, they have their own airport, they have their own cemetery, they have their own clubhouse, and the one surviving clubhouse in the country. You know, so Clery had everything. And Clery still have a mayor, Mantod, who's not there tonight with us, you know. So we have everything here. So we have a church, you know, we have everything. So we have to be proud of our community.
There is nothing bettered than that a man should eat and drink, and that he should make his soul see good in his labor. Greetings.
Philosophical, it's Perkins. Perkins has called me all hours, you know, talking football, you know. Bollock, you saw that game with PSG, you saw all hours. Perkins is still committed, he still loves the game, the passion he has always had it. And that's just the man. Really, really wonderful person. As we move along, we call one of our top goalkeepers who have been with us for quite a while. I've played with him. I've seen him goalkeep. Style, you know. He made the game look simple. You know, he made it look easy. And let me call on, you know, a very warm welcome for Stanley Les Flores. You know, one of our best goalkeepers that have passed through Clery. You know, we must recognize him. You know, a legend. Definitely a legend. He's a legend. I think he still have shares. You got the property, the beach facilities. I think it was passed on to you. If anybody knows beach facility, I think I'm not too sure if Mr. George did that, the documentation for that, the property. Right? So Mr. Albe, if you all know Mr. Albe, that's his son. He produced a top goalkeeper. You know, so you must give kudos to him.
Okay, good evening, everyone. First, I would like to thank God for me being here today. I would like to thank my family for their support. I would also like to thank my adopted family, the Regis family in the US. I would like to thank Mr. Anthony Ferdinand. You know, he gave me a challenge and I couldn't keep up to it. He gave me to captain the Radicals football team because I was one of the most indisciplined players on the team. So after 6 games, you know, I couldn't keep up to the challenge, so I had to give up, you know, the captaincy. But anyway, that made me a better individual, you know, a more responsible individual. I must thank you for that. I would also like to thank Mr. Ali Black for giving me the opportunity to be the assistant coach on tour to St. Croix. Yeah, I must thank him for that too. In playing in the Clery League, there were many challenges. Yeah, but I did enjoy it. I first played for Skulls, and I was the only one that wasn't drinking alcohol because I was about 16. So I played for them for a couple years and I left. I went to play for Radicals and I won a few championships with Radicals. I did win championships with Skulls. I moved on to Radicals. I won a few championships and I wasn't a smoker. So I decided to play for one of the most talented teams in St. Lucia at the time, Strugglers. Yeah, I took them from one stage to the other. We became champions, and well, we had quite a few. Well, we had a lot of intelligent players that know the game. We had Dexter, we had Derek, we had Huntley, we had Fabian, we had, okay, I think I'm applying too much pressure on the brain right now, it doesn't, so yeah. All right, but that was one of the best teams. I must thank Edoxia and Walter for the bacon and lime juice. I remembered we were 1 down with about like 5 minutes remaining. And Walter was on the sidelines and all what I heard, he said, okay guys, if we don't win this game, no bakes, no juice. And within 3 minutes, we scored 2 goals. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I would like to thank the Clery Legends Committee for organizing such an activity and hope they continue in the future. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Stanley. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. James. Let me just run through our sponsors again. Let me say thank you. S&H Construction, Sandals Alcyon Resort, the Honorable Stevenson King, Mr. Tony Walcott, Body Holiday, Stolen Time Hotel, Stephen Favre, Cosmopolitan Car Rentals, Consumers Guarantee Insurance, and out in the diaspora, Matthew Brabell, Winston Regis, Dane Cox, Raphael Blucci, Philip Joseph, Nikki T, Collision, Kisman Dikai, Colinas Busby, Linus James, Cyril Simei, Deep Dan Soka, and I always come to the last, Mr. Charlemagne, Mr. George Charlemagne, one of our sponsors. You know, I want to add Mr. Robert Skit because he gave us his venue free of charge. I don't know if APIC paid for that, but I know it was free of charge, free food. I hope he didn't charge you for the food up there to APIC, right? And as we move along, you know, when I watch the list and I watch from 1960, 1970, 1980, 1990, you know, it's just amazing the job you all did, you know, and we still have our special awards coming out tonight. We're going into that in a bit. So we getting a full menu, a full course, like you would get at Chef Robbie. Robbie, I gave you a lot of advertisement there. All right, so I'm getting a free meal soon at both restaurants, right? By law, right? I just want to say something. It's not that, you know, as you get older, not me, as you all get older, right? We may forget some coaches, but I have to send love to some of our coaches too. It's not that I'm forgetting. You all are forgetting them. But Mr. Charles Sayers, his brother, you know, the two of y'all, powerful persons in our community, you know, played all the sports. I know you still do your running, you know. I just want to send the flowers to you too, you know, both of y'all, you and your brother Richie, a special one.
As part of our sponsors, we want to give thanks to those of you in England, because we know this is being televised worldwide. And when we went about begging, one of the calls that we made was to Mr. Gavin Seafley. Gavin Seafley, former national player. Yes. He called most of those who live in UK, and together they put together a nice financial gift for us. We have guys like Mr. Anderson Dalso, Nikati, Levi, Nika Charlie, Leons, Mario Gamble, Lisa Vidal, Francine Bennett, Mark Byron, Erika Picton, Sheldon Jarvis, one of the guys from the CDC who played a lot of basketball. He lives in New York. You have Narissa Fenton, Kerry Regis from the CDC. Kerry Regis, ladies and gentlemen, Kerry Regis. Yeah, he made and my brother from another mother, David Bolo Flavius, he made his generous contribution. And we have Gabriella McDonald and this one lady from Trinidad, she doesn't want her name mentioned, and a few of them who did the generous givings, but they don't want the names mentioned, so we have to highlight this. One of the greatest donators we have was Thai Plus, yeah? Mr. Marcellus Backstage. Yeah. Cheers for that.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you for that. We sincerely want to thank all our sponsors. Like I said, keep pumping the money. We could make it a bigger, a better event. It's not about us, but it's about those that encourage us, those that inspired, and those that are showing us and helping us to go to the next level. And because now we still have young players apart here with us, we have players like former national and international players, Sempri, Malik Sempri, Showtime, you know, welcome, thanks for being here, Show. All right, Show is one of our few national players, like myself, who played out in the Central America and Europe. He was one that I brought up to Trinidad with maybe 15 or 20 more players. We had a big contingent of St. Lucian footballers, but I always take pride when I have Clery footballers in the midst. And Chauve, Zane Pierre, they were the ones that came in and excelled and showed that Clery still mattered and Clery still had potential. So well done, Chauve, well done, big up. And Chauve still does a lot of work in the community because Chauve, as a player playing for Clery, who has won the current champions and they represented us in the Caribbean Club Championships, Chauve is still one that comes out, apart from playing in the semi-professional league, he's one that comes out and still coaches young kids every day on that pitch. So well done. Continue the good work, my brother. Continue the good work. I think now we have our special awards. Mr. Robert Black, can you join me, please, on stage? Okay, let's run through this quickly. I know that people want the drinks, people want the food, so let's run through that. Let's call on Mr. Hayden Stonehage. No, Mr. Hayden Stonehage Ford, deceased, but we have, Ms. Lindell to pick up the award for him. He was one of our pioneers of the Clery Football League. He was a man who motivated all of us because I remember, many years ago when Mr. Ford, at every game, Mr. Ford would be there to speak to the team and speak to players personally. He was one that was always excited when a game was played, or at every time, on every occasion we had a training game or playing out on the field, Mr. Ford would be around. So, special commendation to Hayden Stonehage Ford. May his soul rest in peace. No, sorry. His brother, yeah, sorry. Well, that's what I'm saying, his brother. Lindell, you're going to say a few words? Short? Okay. Let our former netballer, our former national netballer, and a coach of the national netball team from Clery, and let us say a few words. And let's give a round of applause as a former national player.
Good night. On behalf of my brother, Hayden Ford, better known as Stonehage, who is unable to make it tonight due to his illness, he asks to express his gratitude to the team, and he thanks everyone for at least considering him and acknowledging his contribution in the football arena. I thank you.
That was quick, Miss Ford. Lindell, a champion, a champion. She's a champion, a true champion. Gives so much for the young women, our young netballers, our young women in all different communities. She gives her heart and soul to netball, and that's why she was a top player representing St. Lucia. So thank you, Lindell. As we move along, we call on Imran Ford. Special award again to Imran Ford. We need Imran on stage. And that's your son, I know that's your son, yes. Is a special, or should I say Dr. Ford, Lindell? Rightfully so, Dr. Ford, Dr. Imran Ford. From Clery, you see we have our specialists, specialized persons in our community. We have our doctors, like I said, we have everything. From lawyers, to doctors, to nurses, to what? To pilots. Well, let me don't forget my pilots, yeah? Because I need a flight to Trinidad soon. Yes, let's go. We're moving along to Mr. Leroy St. Rose. Mr. Leroy St. Rose, and I think his son, Team St. Rose, will be coming up to receive it. Mr. Leroy, a stalwart. Mr. Leroy, I don't think any footballer could forget Mr. Leroy. The grey man who was always with strugglers, who always with us, all the young players, always challenging us, always guiding us. You know, Team, your father deserves everything, because what a tremendous person. Yeah, he's soft-spoken, but always had a lot of information for us, you know, and I am proud because, like I said when I started, so many inspired us, you know, inspired me, and your dad was one of them. Thank you.
Well, on behalf of my dad and the Strugglers players, I thank you. Everybody, good night.
Fabian, you all got an award. Strugglers. Right, so Strugglers got an award tonight. So. Moving along, we have Mr. Gerald Gard. Vivi Gard to receive. Mr. Gard again, a stalwart of the community. You know, many who came before us, you know, and set, you know, the path, set the tone for VBCC and for the community. The founding fathers of the club of Clery, you know, they gave their heart and soul to our Clery people. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you, thank you. I was warned even before I got here, I only have 90 seconds to speak. But I saw Tony was talking as long as he wanted. Mr. James gave his full version. So I will still keep it crisp and short. So just to say about the man, Mr. Gerald St. Aubin Gard. St. Aubin already is a rare name. So this guy came into a world with a name that I have never heard anywhere else. And he came to be wonderfully special. As a man, I can think of probably 3 words that can describe him. He is generous, his integrity was impeccable, and his discipline was outstanding. So his legacy extended to the home. I only have 90 seconds, so I'm not going to give you any more on that. His legacy also extended to his profession. He was a land surveyor and highly regarded by his colleagues. And his community. He did a lot with the Viticultural Club. He was a sports coordinator at some point. I don't know if he played, but he was a coach in many different games. And he always said the only game he wouldn't play is cricket, because he just imagined that ball hitting him in the head. So he enjoyed sports, but not an avid player. I really want to join with his wife, Mrs. Evelyn Gard, and his children, who are my siblings, Edison Gard, Graham, and Geraldine. And Gerald Jr. is my brother, known as Freddy, and Linda. So we are the ones who are saying thank you for remembering and honoring a man, a legend, my father, Gerald St. Obingard.
Short and sweet. That's a juju race now. Let's call on Mr. Nigel McGee.
Let's go. Win. Win, everybody. Win. 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 This man has represented. Always finishes races. Even though he has lost many, but he always finished his races. Yeah, Mr. Nigel Mugi.
Thank you so much.
I thank Mr. Black so much for what you have done for me. Okay, all right.
Thank you.
I had to say that I can say it. I can.
All right. Mr. McGee said, thank you. He didn't want to spend too much time on stage because he said Dave took enough time. So we're moving along. Mr. Vincent Latcher. So Miss Carla Latcher to receive his daughter. Like I told you all, I gave you a little story earlier about Mr. Latcher, and a pioneer of so many things, but what we know him for, most famous for, he had a black belt that he used to lick up when you cannot see your timetables. I will never forget that. I got one lash, and you had to say your timetables from 1 to 20, right? And you couldn't miss a beat. And I got one stroke for that on my back, and I never got one again. But Mr. Latcher was famous. He was loving. So it's always an honor to see things like that happening for a teacher who educated so many of us, if not all of us inside that one stage.
I just want to say good night, everyone, and thank you to the committee for recognizing my dad. I know he would be so honored by this, and it's such a pleasure to know that he managed to collect his flowers before he died, and he's still getting his flowers after his passing, and he would be so grateful. Thank you.
Sorry, guys, this is not in the program, but I wanted to say something about Vincent Latcher. So, my name is Lorna. I'm the wife of Mr. Ernest James. I went to the Clery school. I left here at 13 and went to New York. But Vincent Latcher taught me, and he's one of the teachers I will never forget for many reasons. He was a great man. I have 5 older siblings, and they were all taught by Vincent Latcher. No disrespect to the name that now hangs on that school, but if I had a vote, it would have been someone that made a difference in that school for that building to carry his name. My husband also tried, and I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but I will. He tried to make this street from the back of the church all the way down to the main road, all the way down to the Vincent Latcher Memorial Drive. So I'm asking any politician in here, any representative of a politician in here, to make Ernest's vision come true, the Vincent Latcher Memorial Drive.
Thank you for that. Let's, now we're going to call on, oh yes. Okay, a special award goes out to Mr. Wayne Monrose. Mr. Wayne Monrose. All of us know about the Monroses. A catalyst, a president, one who was part of the Clery League, founding members of the Clery League, who did so much work, the hard work that he had to put in with the other committee members. And we know his brother, Julian Monrose, who taught so many of us, like Mr. Latcher, who was a president of VBCC Club too. And he was I think he was a president of the Clery League at one point. Yes, I think he was, like my attorney is telling me now, he was the first man, the only man to be the president of the Clery Football League and the president of VBCC. You know, so I think he deserves a round of applause for that. And he was also my teacher too. He was a president of All Stars, so. Yes, yeah. Yes, yeah.
Thank you very much. It is indeed with much humility that I stand here to accept this award. Those on stage before me, as you will note, has in some way or the other been involved in a very practical way with the ball. My role in those days was that I served initially as president of All Stars. And I saw myself that of harnessing the talent of so many skillful footballers, some of here in the midst here this evening. And for those who were called before me, serving on that executive for so many years. So I'm proud to be part of Ezra Jabatis, who served as the secretary. Hayden Ford, who is not here with us tonight, but he was exuberant at all times and foremost in spreading All Stars. And of course, Vincent Rasher deceased, but whatever school room that he taught in, that was our meeting room. All Stars had as many meeting rooms as Vincent Rasher had keys to the school. So that's where we served at the time. And of course, the ever exuberant, overzealous Bailey and Zoo, Generous Gordon, who served as a coach. And on the field of play, it was Richard Sayers. So between us as the management of the team, we stood behind All Stars and helped the name. Somehow, I've heard the talk that we moved from VBCC. But when you look at the amount of talent in Clery, it is good that teams like All Stars and all the others had to be formed so that there's an opportunity for all those skilled footballers to show their talent. I want to use this opportunity to thank the committee for their foresight, their vision in having this awards. And we need to look beyond that from the viewpoint that even this week, I was amazed because tonight here the culmination of this activity could have been sufficient for all of us. But for those who spend that week although I didn't attend all of it, but that week of activities, especially the night by Robbie. And that's why I even got to learn so much, hearing the views, the expression, the experience of all those footballers, and they all with vivid memories, remembering all that, the passion that they had for the game. And I recall, and I will say for those of us who grew up in this area, the Clery, boy, that was the best years of my life as a boy. The experiences that we had, I think there's nothing to surpass it. And so I want to invoke God's guidance on the committee so that they could continue for many, many years full of longevity, that what has started here today will not end with us, but will continue and move on to the next generation. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Monrose. And I'm so sorry that I didn't say that you were the president of All Stars, because yesterday you had that T-shirt with a big, massive, your whole body was covered with All Stars. You know, so I know how proud you are of representing All Stars, because the rivalry in the days were All Stars and VBCC. And the legends of Clery were both from Clery League and All Stars. So All Stars, it's synonymous. You know, you cannot say one without the other, because great players came from All Stars. Great players. You know, and let's give a round of applause to that club, All Stars. You know, they deserve it. They deserve it. Moving right along. Right along, we would like to call on the next special award goes out to Mr. John Silly. Mr. Silly is not here today, but we have Mr. Kwashi here to receive the award and to say a few words on behalf of Mr. John Silly. Yeah. And Mr. Silly, again, another one from up Activille, and one who carried me along to training on the Clery field early hours of the morning. You know, so when I give praises to people like Mr. Silly, you know, and Isley and Walter Joseph, that did so much for me in Clery and for so many of us. Right? Yeah.
Good night to all, and a special good night to the awardees, the legends. I am Andrew Kwashi, as has been said. Some of you may wonder whether this gentleman has ever played football, but I did play a little football. I played for Glory Boys, Mr. Cox's team, and Walter's team, the great strugglers team. On a few occasions, I would have donned my gear, my football boots. I was called by the name of Puma. Okay, I did have some skill, but I was not a prolific player. In any case, I just want to say thank you to the organizers for having organized such an auspicious occasion. Reverend McLaurin, in his opening prayer, he spoke of a scripture in Proverbs and one in Psalm 121. But Jesus said in Matthew chapter 13, verse 57, that a prophet is not without honor except in his own country and in his own house. And this simply means that persons with talent, with skills, with abilities, they exhibit them, they execute them, but they are never recognized by the persons in whose presence they exhibit and demonstrate such skills. Usually you have to go outside of your zone to get recognized. But this activity here is giving testimony to that in a positive way, that though some persons have since passed, some of you are still alive and you are being recognized for your work. However late it is, but you are being recognized. And so I take this opportunity to read a speech, a thank you speech by Mr. John Seeley, and it reads, "It is with much regret that I wish to inform the planning committee of the Clery Awards ceremony that I am unable to attend the second annual awards ceremony. On the day of the awards, I would have left for Aruba, where I will participate in the FIFA Coach Educators Assessment. It would be my final assessment, and this would allow me to be fully certified by FIFA as a coach educator. It is a process which began 2 years ago, and it is therefore unfortunate that my assessment coincides with the awards ceremony. This is an important part of my football journey because at present there are no certified FIFA coach educators in St. Lucia, so myself and 2 others will be treading on unfamiliar grounds. I wish to state that wherever my football journey has taken me, it would not have been possible without the community of Clery and the Clery Football League. So a big thank you to the Clery Football League and the Clery community. There is something special about this community, something many of us do not understand, but whatever it is, it binds residents, Clerians in the diaspora, former residents, and even those in transit together. According to the national anthem, wheresoever you may roam, love, O love, our island home. Well, wheresoever may roam, Clery will remain home. Being part of the Clery Football League has been a labor of love. The success over the years, and more so recently, has brought tears of joy, and there were times when success seemed like an illusion. The Clery Football League gave me a greater appreciation of what service to community meant. When times looked difficult and giving up seemed like an option. Earlier on, I heard someone said that you must never give up, and that is what the brother is saying here. I went back to why the league was started, and this has kept me going. There are many persons I can thank for this tremendous journey. However, I wish to mention just 2. Vernon Luch Nicholas, the quiet one, a person that I have relied on over the years. Though he may have left for other pastures where the grass was not so green, he remained as reliable can be. The second individual is Hayden Stonehage Ford. It was Hayden who approached 5 of us, 5 school teachers, to start the Clery Football League. That was in mid-1982. Without that invitation from Hayden, the birth of the Clery Football League might have been delayed or even worse, never conceived. Thank you, Stonehage, for the invite. I have never been one for personal accolades, and so it is with great humility that I accept this recognition of my efforts. Thank you, John Seeley.
Thank you, Kwashi. Thank you. Thank you so much. And for Mr. Seeley, who's not present again, duty calls, and we are partaking in this coaching education courses for coaches. So a few of us are part of that, so that we could give back more new information to coaches in St. Lucia. And it's a long journey. It's, hours and hours and months, of work, and I'm happy that Seeley and I think it's Coach Solomon and a few of them are out there doing a great job for St. Lucia. Now we have a private and special award. I'll call Dave to do that for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, you must have been tired of having me on stage. But we have this special gift, this special token, this special financial gift to our Brother Isley. And so we would like his wife, because Isley is out there representing the island in some cultural and poetry event presently. So we'd like to call on to his wife to come and receive this on his behalf. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Mrs. Nelson.
I'd like to say thank you for giving me the permission to collect this award for Mr. Ras Isley, better known as Leslie Nelson. He's right now in Barbados in Caripesta, and he's watching right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Isley, again and again and again. Coach Isley, you know, he played his role, he made his mark, coaching every day, inspiring us every day. Still doing his work for footballers, for young footballers in Clery, and that is a community man. Now I would call on, we have one more, our final special award, and I'll call Mr. Ernest James. Mr. Ernest James will come and present that one, a special award.
These two awards is guys that played for me in New York in 2012 when we won championship. One of the guys is a guy they call Philip Tisson. He passed away in New York. He came to New York to play for St. Lucia, and somebody shot him. So he died in New York. But one of the reasons why I'm giving him this award is when he came to New York, we had a team that was struggling. And what he brought to our team was a swagger. And I mean, if everybody understands what I'm saying, swagger is, he brought a vibe to our team where we had a spirit, where we started now playing football and not just talking. He passed away, and I wanted his family to be here, but they're from Canaries, but they didn't make it. So we want everybody to know this is very special to me, what I'm giving here. The other one is a defender that used to play for us. He's from Dennery. His name is Angus Williams. He's a police officer. Vovan wanted to come for the award for him, but no. Another one very special to me, because winning a championship for me was very, very, very special, because when you, and people have to understand what I'm saying, a Clery guy involved in football, the critics, they destroy you. So winning that championship for me was a summer of giving up my rights to my family, living every day, making sure things is right. Very, very special. Those guys made it happen for St. Lucia in the US. 21 years, once again I say, St. Lucia was on that road to winning a championship for 21 years. And I took over and we won first year. Anyway, thank you.
And that's it with Mr. James, the man with a bigger hat. Okay. All right. Okay, let me, we just have one more. Yeah? It looks like we have more money coming in. Let me call Lindell James, Lindell Ford, up on stage again, my netballer. Yeah, come. Okay, Lindell's son, Imran, who's not here with us today, is given a token of appreciation right here today. So, the Clery legend who has supported us so all over. I think everybody in Clery knows him. Old man Stan, as they call him. Right, Mrs. Stan, thank you so much for your support, your dedication to Clery, and you could see that the younger people have that respect and honor you today. Thank you so much, all of them. Thank you, Mrs. Stan. You see, Clery are people with a good heart, a big heart, so I'm seeing here, we have a guest, one of our guests here. Let me make mention of a footballer, a former national footballer. I am taller than him, that I could give much information to that. He's one that when I played my, in 1991, when St. Lucia came, our best ever ranking we had in the Caribbean, third in the Caribbean behind Jamaica and Trinidad in the Shell Caribbean Cup. He was my teammate, and he's somebody I've looked up to all my life, but I got the opportunity to play with him. And he has been exciting off and on the field. And many of you, when I call him, you all will know why he's exciting off the field. I had to do his job here today because he was supposed to be right here first, but he had a serious engagement. Let me call the man I'm taller than, I could say that, Mr. Isai Hall, to the podium. Just come in and say a few words to Clery, because you do so much for Clery. You help us so much. You have been here, you have played in Clery, you have done everything. You're right there. You're a teacher, just like all the teachers. I think every Clerian is a teacher. So I had to bring you on stage with your nice shirt. I want to say something, but I'm not saying it tonight. But say something.
Good night, everybody. Let me first apologize for not being able to fulfill the MC duties. Yesterday I missed work, spent the entire day on the field getting ready for the game last night, which my team won. Yeah. I deserve a round of applause for that. Our team won. And today, it was just really difficult to escape working today. So let me first of all say thank you to Earl Bologja, our new rising MC. Give him a round of applause. I think he did a remarkable job. But I just want to say that tonight is not just about sponsors. It's not just about residents. It's not just about legends. It's a lot more than that. Tonight says we as people can live life to the fullest, and we can show love and appreciation to young and to old. Because for me, this is a night of true appreciation. When a community like Clery can get together and host such an event. I have been to events like this where the resources are far greater, but the decor and the effort is not anywhere close to what we are experiencing here tonight. Give our decor people a round of applause and the organizers a round of applause. And I think this sends a message to the rest of St. Lucia, that at a time where we have so many challenges with issues such as conflict and crime, and a sense of community is the only solution. We need strong, powerful communities. We need persons who can take up the mantle and become leaders. These young gentlemen at the helm, the Legend Committee, these are youngsters, These are not old people. These are young people who have taken the initiative to show the world what a strong community can do. And I dare say, I challenge all other communities in St. Lucia and the rest of the Caribbean, and even the rest of the world, to take a page tonight from Clery. Clery, take a bow. Clery, take a bow. You deserve that. And so finally, I just want to say to all of the awardees, to all of the attendees, and of course, to the committee, guys, we are on the right track. You are definitely on the right path. You are destined for greatness. And to all those persons who in some small way made a contribution, I want to say to you, keep making that contribution and encourage others to come on board as well. For me, this is very personal because I live in Lance Road, but I grew up in Clery. I spent more than 3/4 of my life in Clery playing football and having a few drinks with George Shalmai. You know, Clery is home to me, people. And so, while the ceremony is coming to a close, I want to implore every one of you, let us keep loving one another. Let us be neighborly. Let us be kind to each other. Let us be our brothers and sisters keepers. Clery, good going, and I am very, very proud of all of you. Thank you, folks, and good night.
You see why I told you I had to call him? I had to call him here because Isaiah Hall, a lot of people, they see him, but they don't know much of him because he does his work quietly at times, but he does a lot of work. You know, he's a coach, a former national player, a former footballer in Clery. He still plays his football with the FET match. A teacher, a coach, one of our most qualified coaches. He does a lot of work with the schools. It goes on, and they see him at karaoke. They'll know him from karaoke because he's the best DJ or best whatever they call him. But a man of honor, a man of, of great, of humility. And that's why I've always enjoyed being in the company of senior men and senior players like Isaiah Hall and George Shalmine and Robbie Skeet. I've always embraced, they always embraced me when I was growing up. And I thank you all over and over and over for making me who I am today, and going all over 4 corners of the world playing football, representing our people of Clery and St. Lucia. It's because of y'all. Right? So thank you, Isaiah. Thank you to all of y'all. As we come to the end of our proceedings, again, I want to call Mr. Black to say a few words, short words of thank you, and then I will, come in to say a few words. Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank each and every one of you who showed up here today. Those in the diaspora viewing. The organizing committee was very pleased at the turnout of this event. We hope that the next year would be even a grander affair and more people will partake, support in this venture. Thank you very much for showing up.
Thank you, Mr. Black. And just before we go out to have dinner and enjoy some drinks, I want to take this opportunity again before we leave to thank the sponsors that made this possible. And we keep thanking them from the bottom of our hearts. Let me start off at the bottom. Yes, I think that's Dave Felicity. Dave Ja Felicity. He spoke too much tonight. So sorry about that. So as I run through the sponsors again, let me say a big thank you to Judy Slaughter, Leonard Jr. McGay, Nikki T, Collision, Philip Joseph, the Honorable Stevenson King, Raphael Bluchet, Stephen Favrier, Jack Tomlinson, Dane Cox, Winston Regis, Matthew Brabel, Kisman Dekai, Dina Hibley Fernandez, Collins Busby, Linus James, Cedel Simei, Deepa Dan Soka, George Shalmine, and the list continues because we got more sponsors than Tourism Authority, got and Kayo, S&H Construction, Sandals Halcyon Resort, Tony Walcott, Body Holiday, Stolen Time Hotel, Cosmopolitan Car Rentals, Consumer Guarantee Insurance, Rainforest Adventure, and I leave it for last, Marcellus Backsteed, because you're a 7-footer, I had to leave it last. Thank you all so much for the contributions, for the support. Let me thank again the committee and the media. I want to thank the media personnel that are here with us. Thank you all for your support always. Kayo, thank you so much for being here. I know you are on the international stage regularly, but it's our Clery boy, Heritas, making things go right for us. Thank you so much, Kayo. You know, Apik, your wife, I want to thank your wife for all her hard work. Continuously, she does that over and over with a smile, never upset. You know, I know you give her a hassle, but she does it with love. You know, like Mr. Izai said, it's love. The community of Clery is about love. It's about inspiring younger people. It's about motivating younger people. So let's continue to show that love for our elders. And likewise, let the elders continue supporting our young people. Thank you all so much for having me here with you all tonight. And it was an honor being here. Thank you so much. And enjoy your meals and your drinks. Thank you.